Am I the a-hole for unintentionally making people hate my coworker because I told the truth about what she did to me and my family? I, 21, was recently in a mild car accident with my coworker. Not sure how old she is, but at least 40 probably. I would regularly give her and others rides from work because she lives really close and I didn't mind sparing her the money she'll spend on a taxi. I don't own the car. It is my parents', but it gets really good gas mileage, and driving 2 miles isn't a big deal to me, with their permission. I was just trying to be kind and do people a favor. While others expressed gratitude and respect for me, she kind of took advantage of me and expected it from me because I have trouble saying no. 3 to 4 times she told me, not asked me, to stop at a store/gas station for her to get snacks and cigarettes. Again, I struggle to say no, especially when someone intimidates me. I shouldn't have done it, so that's on me. But still, she took advantage of me regularly because she knew she could. The car accident was not my fault in the slightest. Someone ran a stop sign on a road where I didn't have a stop sign and I was going the speed limit. Luckily, I was paying attention and was able to hit the brakes in time, so the bumper was a little messed up, but there was no serious damage. The driver and passenger of the other car were very hostile to us, and my coworker was saying she was going to sue them. She didn't look like she was in pain. She was standing and walking fine, but just said, "Oh, my back hurts a little," and seems to find it funny. The impact wasn't super hard. It's not like anyone else got whiplash or anything. She was even joking around and laughing with the police officer about how she was going to get her check. He offered her an ambulance, and she said she was fine and that wasn't necessary. She ended up going to the hospital a day later. I'm pretty sure that was solely for having a medical record of it, but I don't know what the doctor said or diagnosed. I honestly didn't think she was seriously injured because she had no mobility issues or obvious pain, but I can't prove that, of course. Even though I thought it was BS, I still checked in on her the next couple of days to see how she was doing, and she told me she was okay. A week or two afterwards, her and another coworker were kind of aggressively pestering me to get a lawyer to sue them so they can't sue me first. But they had no grounds to sue, and I just didn't think that was necessary or worth the time and effort, and I had no desire to cause harm to them. Now, on to the real problem. I found out recently that my coworker is suing me/my insurance company, not the other driver. She was aware that my family's financial situation is very poor, just barely making it by paycheck to paycheck, and that we were already on thin ice with our insurance, so I was super anxious about the accident. She was fully aware that a lawsuit would seriously F over my entire family, because my brother got in no 3 fault accidents within the last 3 years. One totaling his car, our insurance bill was very high, and we were kind of hanging on by a thread with that company. I guess the lawsuit was their last straw, so they dropped us, and by November, we will be uninsured. We're not eligible for new insurance until the lawsuit is settled, and since it's illegal to have a car on a loan uninsured, there is a possibility of my parents losing their cars. My entire family is in an unbearable level of stress because no car means we can't get to our job without spending a small fortune on public transportation. My job is 24 miles away, and my brother's job is impossible to do without a car. So there's a possibility of us losing our jobs and almost half of the household income. Again, my coworker was aware of all of this before filing the lawsuit. Why I think I might be the a-hole? I told 3 of my coworkers about the lawsuit. 2 of them because I see them as friends that I can trust, and they had asked me about what was going on with the accident. I was vague at first with the details, but it's been eating me alive with the stress, so it kind of came pouring out and I said more than I needed to. The third coworker that also knew about the accident asked me for a ride to the train station, so I explained that I'm not allowed to give people rides anymore because of the lawsuit, so we had to take the work van instead. I didn't tell her as much about it, but still, I didn't need to tell her about the lawsuit. I could have just blamed it on the accident itself. All three of them promised they wouldn't tell anyone, and I believed them, so I don't expect rumors/drama to spread around. None of them particularly like her anyways because she just isn't a friendly person and can be pretty standoffish. So I wasn't ruining friendships or anything, but it definitely worsened their opinions of her. For more clarification, I wasn't talking crap or calling her names or anything, just saying factually what happened. One of the coworkers I had told blocked her phone number. I told her not to, but she said it was her own decision and not my fault, and she promised that she wouldn't say anything about me if she gets asked why she blocked her. The one filing the lawsuit called the work phone 4 times during our shift to try to speak to the one that blocked her, but she didn't answer the phone. I also told our manager about the situation, both because I thought it was necessary to disclose and because I wanted to make sure I wouldn't lose my job if I took a temporary leave of absence due to the transportation issue. She's a per diem worker, sort of a substitute that works at other locations as well, so this manager isn't her direct supervisor. She already didn't like the coworker because allegedly she has caused problems with several other employees. My manager called her disgusting and was almost more upset than I was and agreed that it was really messed up to knowingly harm someone who was doing her a favor. She even offered me permission to record her discreetly if I wanted to have proof of her functioning as normal, gave me info to contact an insurance agent, and gave me the phone number for HR to get proof that she hasn't missed work because of the injury. I didn't ask for any of this. She offered it. I may be naive, but I'm not an idiot. And I'm so hurt that I only ever showed her kindness and empathy, and she took advantage of me for her own benefits. I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt the day I found out, and that there might be some mistake, as she said she would be suing the other person, and my legal name is not the name I use at work, but she's been ignoring my texts even though she's always on her phone and refuses to give me the contact info of the witness. She definitely knows what she's doing and how this is impacting me and is intentionally avoiding me, so I have no defense in the lawsuit. I did her a favor over and over again for several months, asking for nothing in return, and she showed zero appreciation for it and screwed me over as much as she possibly could. I feel really guilty now because it wasn't necessary for me to keep talking about it, and even though it made me feel better and validated, it's none of their business, and I don't know if it was wrong for me to involve them. While the lady kind of deserves it, I wasn't trying to make anyone hate her. So finally, am I the a-hole for telling people that weren't involved about what my coworker did to me and my family? Let's see what the commenters have to say in the comment sections. First comment says, not the a-hole. You share your truth because you are almost being overwhelmed. How is that an a-hole move? The OP response is, I tend to be a people pleaser and value others' feelings over my own, even if they wronged me, so I felt guilty for talking about it with people who weren't involved and didn't need to know about it. I don't think talking about it is comparable to what she did, but I just needed some reassurance that it wasn't petty or wrong of me to confide in people that work with her rather than the friends outside of my job. Another commenter says, she deserves everything coming her way. Take up your manager's offer. Don't give her any more opportunities to screw you over. Someone else says, when you can afford it, you might want to talk to a therapist about that. Kindness and empathy are important, but so is the ability to set healthy boundaries. After all, your whole family is being thrown under the bus. Even if you care that little about yourself, it sounds like you care about your family. This woman is a wolf. I don't hate wolves, but if you're harmed by a wolf, you don't need to be vindictive or anything. But you do need to get serious about how to defend yourself against this threat. Do your due diligence. Get the needed evidence, and as long as you don't do anything that puts your job at risk, you're not being unethical with anything else. up to and including getting this woman fired. Starting a few coworkers' opinion is a really, really tiny thing for you to be feeling guilty over, to the point where I hope you get a better spot so you're not so vulnerable in the future, because that misplaced guilt you're feeling is a little concerning. The OP does respond, says, I appreciate your concern and advice. I'm currently in therapy, and this is one of the main things we're working on right now. Another commenter says, you're looking at the wrong way. You weren't harming the coworker, you were warning the others. What if someone else gave her a ride and didn't know and something like this happened? Wouldn't you have reason to feel guilty due to your silence? Or what if she screwed someone else over because she had no morals and you didn't say anything? Warning your friends about users is almost an obligation. If anyone should feel bad about the disclosure, it should be the people who you told and said that it would stay between you. If anything, you now have more witnesses to the fact that she's fine at work. The OP responds, you're definitely right, and after reading the first few comments, I was able to realize that the only thing I did wrong here was convincing myself that talking about it was wrong of me. Another commenter says, not the a-hole, but at least you learned your lesson. Do not get involved in any way with coworkers outside of work, and that includes having them in your car ever again. The OP says, yes, I definitely learned my lesson. I've never been in an accident before, as I'm a pretty cautious driver, and even though I trusted that other people at my job wouldn't do that to me, I'm definitely not having any of them in my car again. I definitely agree. You gotta protect yourself first, OP. I would love to hear about what you guys think of this whole situation. What would you do in OP's situation? Please leave those in the comment. And if you like these types of stories, remember to continue to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.